All right, on that note, let's speak to our reporter Canny Maphanga, who was in court as well. Kenny, let's start with the reasons why the court to reach its decisions.
Well, good afternoon to you, Bongiwe, and the viewers at home. Of course, it was quite a highly emotionally charged moment at the Constitutional Court following the revelation that in 10 days, the killer of anti-apartheid activist as well as SACP leader, former SACP leader Chris Hani, would be placed on parole in 10 days. Now, there are a number of factors that were considered to get to this decision. Of course, this was a unanimous judgment. They have considered the fact that this was a cold-blooded murder, that it was planned over a number of weeks, and that the conduct by Janusz Walus actually almost derailed the prospects of democracy in this country. However, speaking of democracy, we do actually live in a constitutional democracy which sees everybody as equal before the law. And with respect to what is stated on paper, Mr. Walus has satisfied, according to the Constitutional Court, the requirements to be placed on parole. Remember that in 2005, the actual assassin did take place in 1993, but in 2005 he became eligible for parole. Since 2011, he's applied numerous times up until 2020 and been denied, and there are no new reasons placed before the court to give them an indication as to why he should not be released on parole. And that is how the court essentially, in summary, came to that decision.
And Kenny, we saw in that, that footage earlier on of Medi Mpohani expressing, unhappiness, not mincing her words, an emotionally charged a court, packed after this particular judgment. At the same time, even outside SACP members angry about this particular decision. What have they had to say to you about it?
Well, various people did attend this court judgment, members of the SACP, the SACP's Salima Faila, and then, of course, Chris Hani's widow, who was completely outraged at the decision by the ConCourt's. The communists feel failed by the court. They feel that the minister did all that he could to prevent this. However, they have promised mass mobilization. They're not going to just accept this decision. So we need to see what's going to happen in the next 10 days when we expect that this man will be released on parole, and how the South African Communist Party will react to such a decision.
And of course, Kenny, as they talk about mass mobilization, I wonder to what end, because this is the Constitutional Court, the apex court. Have they said to what end they would be mobilizing?
Well, of course, I would read mobilization as on the ground, as this is the highest court in the land. That decision is final. The court does decide to see themselves as equal to the minister in making this decision. And they couldn't see any new facts to not take the decision that they've taken so far. So we understand that in 10 days that we will see some form of mobilization. We do understand that this was Chris Hani, this was the beloved leader of the SACP. That moment that took place in 1993 almost derailed us from where we are today in 2022. So they are very outraged, very upset, very disappointed by the court. And we can expect that in 10 days there will be some sort of mobilization movement regarding this decision that has been seen as, unexplainable by some of the stakeholders that are affected by this release, and hurt, quite in fact.
And I suppose you'll be there in 10 days watching these proceedings for us and giving us an update as to what exactly is going on. Thank you so much for putting us in the picture there, Kenny. Do appreciate it.